Hi everyone. Hi. Oh my gosh, you guys haven't been live in so long. I used to go live all the time. So, just gonna wait for a few more people to hop on. Hi. I'm so excited for today's live. This is like a full circle moment for me. Getting to go live with Elias, who is the president and CEO of Birthright Israel Foundation. And like, if you've ever had a conversation with me about my Birthright trip, then you know it is my like most favorite, most life-changing trip. So I'm excited to have this conversation, and I have a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask him, and I'm excited to get this info to you guys. All right. Let me see what time it is. All right. I'm going to invite him to come. Wait, I don't know how to do this. Oh, here it is. All right, Elias should be hopping on in a minute. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hi.
Hello, Rachel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It is such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me on.
Oh my gosh, the honor is all mine. I'm so excited to be able to have this conversation with you.
I've been following you and your activism since October 7th and before that, and it is an honor. And thank you for all that you do and for promoting Birthright Israel at this moment.
Yeah, I was just telling everybody, if anyone's ever had a conversation with me about my birthright, then you know like how much it means to me.
It changed my life. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Birthright. Now that I have my own children, I know it's strengthened not only my Jewish identity, but the identity that I pass on to them. So this is a program that passes on from generation to generation.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, you guys, first of all, if you guys are unfamiliar with Birthright, Birthright is an amazing foundation. They actually give the most incredible gift to young Jewish adults of going to Israel. And it is, I think, is it still 2 weeks?
Well, we have a 10-day program. That's the flagship program that we have. And then we've added other programs which we can talk about. Awesome. But the flagship program is 10 days.
Okay, so it's the most beautiful trip. It's educational. Young adults get to see Israel, and it becomes more of, for me, I had more of a connection to Israel. I always was pro-Israel, that's how I was raised, but I didn't have like a personal connection. And literally the minute that I got there, I felt like I was home. And I was just back in Israel this past May, and I really didn't expect to have like that same feeling. And I did. I was like, oh, I just could breathe. I felt at peace, at home, like it's where I belong. And so it really is such a special place, but it's such a special program that you guys have that gives this wonderful gift to young Jewish adults.
Rachel, that line that you just used about "I can just breathe" is a line that we hear over and over and over, particularly since October 7th, from the thousands of participants that have come, that they feel, ironically and perhaps sadly, safer in Israel than they do on their college campus or in their communities. And it is a gift that we provide to them to be in Israel at this moment with their fellow peers for this life-changing experience.
Yeah, I mean, for me, in that time in my life, I think I was 20. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, do in life, and it was just kind of like a carefree, yeah, I'll try this out. My mom told me about it. I'm like, sure, why not? I didn't know what I was walking into. I didn't know what to expect, and obviously it exceeded any expectation. And I mean, that was almost 2 decades ago.
Wow.
I still have that same feeling. So I'm really excited to do this little Q&A with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me what's on your mind.
All All right, so I have my questions written out, and the first one for you is the education on Birthright Israel is continuously evolving and changing, and I'm sure it's very different from when you and I went. But can you tell me a little bit about what the young adults are learning and experiencing on Birthright today?
Absolutely. So we have made so many changes to our program since October 7th to reflect the current environment.
Mm.
I think the most important thing to note are the number of people who are actually coming to Israel right now on a Birthright trip. We expect by the end of this summer to have about 17,000 participants have come to Israel on one of our programs. And that's remarkable. At a time when people believe that it is not safe to travel to Israel, you have so many young people, despite what we see on college campuses, want to support Israel. And sometimes the best way to support Israel is to actually go to Israel and to demonstrate your solidarity. So when they're coming to Israel, they're seeing a program that has been completely enhanced as a result of the atrocities that occurred 10 months ago. Every single participant is meeting with survivors of 10/7. Many of our groups are traveling to the Nova site, where they actually are present and bearing witness to the atrocities at a place where so many young people, their peers, died just because they went to a music festival, just because they're Jewish. Every single participant and group are meeting with hostage families, which are such a central part of Israeli society right now. Every group is volunteering, and I'd love to talk to you more about what we're doing in the volunteering space, because this is brand new for us, but we believe it's important for our participants not only to receive the gift of a free trip, but also to give back to Israel at this moment.
Yeah.
So we've changed a lot of aspects of it. We also want our participants.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, we also want our participants to open up and to talk about what it means to be Jewish, whether it's from their community or their campus, and to speak to other young Jews and to speak to our Israeli participants about what it means to be Jewish. So we're facilitating these conversations so people can have a place to vent and to share and to reflect. So it will only deepen their connection to Israel and to each other.
Wow. I mean, in some ways, I'm a little bit jealous that I'm not on one of these current ones, because having just been there, I know how meaningful and impactful and like life-changing. I got back and I said, I'm never going to be the same.
Yeah. Well, Rachel, you're using your platform right now to encourage more people to go and to encourage more people to invest in this program. So we'd love to take you back, but more so, we're so thankful that you're providing us this platform to get more people to go.
Absolutely. All right, I have another question for you.
Sure.
Okay, so in your opinion, what is the most significant takeaway for participants?
The most significant takeaway is that we are one global Jewish people, and we are never alone. That no matter where you're from, no matter what community, what campus, or what country you're from, we are part of one Jewish people, and we are not a big people, as you know. But there is strength in numbers, and particularly now as we are under attack, as Israel is under attack and Jews worldwide are under attack, we have to be united. And we also have to have a sense of purpose and a sense of mission and a feeling that we are never alone. And when you go to Israel on one of these programs and you're surrounded by other Jews and by other like-minded individuals, you do have that feeling, as you described, Rachel, that you can finally breathe again.
Yeah.
And that has a feeling of things are going to be okay. That you can really get, and that injection of pride and confidence when you're in Israel. That's the most important takeaway.
Yeah. And I think also, like, speaking to that is I came back feeling like reinvigorated and like ready to keep going. And like, it's
that sense of resilience that Israelis have, right? That one foot in front of the next, one day at a time, we got this, right? That we're doing something special, that we are part of a 4,000-year-old history, and we have the ability and the responsibility to write the next chapter of Jewish history. When you come back on a Birthright trip, it's exactly as you said, you're reinvigorated and you're ready to go.
Yeah, I love that. All right, so Birthright has grown leaps and bounds. Can you share with us more about the programs available to our children and our current college students?
Yeah, this is the thing I'm most excited about because when you and I went on Birthright 25 years ago, it was a 10-day trip and it was a revolutionary idea to bring people to Israel on a 10-day trip that was a gift to them. But
Yeah,
we have evolved because there's so many other ways to have a transformative experience in Israel. So we have Birthright Excel, which is a unbelievable leadership program for business and tech students. We have Onward, which is an incredible program that brings people to Israel or brings them back to Israel for an internship so they can advance their professional career and they can have a more immersive 8 to 10 week experience in Israel. And then there's a new program that we started 10 months ago in response to October 7th, which is to bring people to Israel for a volunteer program, a 7 to 14-day volunteer program where they can be part of the civilian war effort, where they can work on an agricultural field to help with the labor shortage that exists in agriculture, or work in logistical centers. Over half of the participants that we've had on the volunteer program have been Birthright alumni who've come back to Israel to be part of this effort. And this program has blown us away. We thought we would have maybe a few hundred or 1,000 volunteers who'd want to come to Israel. We've already had close to 6,000 Jewish young adults between the ages of 18 and 40 that have decided to come volunteer. And we believe it'll be a fabric of our work for years to come, largely as a result of the needs in Israel, but also as a result of the needs of our young people to want to do something in addition to scrolling on Instagram, right? That they can actually go to Israel and help. So between the 10-day trip and the internships in Excel and the volunteer program, there are a suite of opportunities where you can go to Israel, be inspired, and feel that you are part of a larger Jewish people with a greater sense of mission and purpose in life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I hear all the time. I was just on a call earlier with someone that said, I need to do more. Like, what more can I do? You know, it's one thing to be on Instagram and doing social media activism and being in DMs and having these conversations and all of these different things. But like to be able to go there and to be like directly there, to me, that was like the most that I could do, you know, like I felt like, okay, I really am doing something and I really am like doing everything that I can do. So to know that there's all of those programs available for people, because I do get DMs a lot, especially when I was there, like, how do I get to Israel? Like, how do I program?
Well,
Everybody.
if you're between the ages of 18 and 40, I highly encourage you to go to Israel and volunteer. Rachel, there's nothing like looking an Israeli in the eyes and saying, we're here for you, we love you, to give them a hug, and then to roll up your sleeves and actually help. It's an incredible feeling that you're doing something for a country that we love and a people that we love.
Yeah. I love that. All right. Let's see. What next question do I have for you? Okay. So Birthright Israel's programs play a crucial role, as we talked about, in connecting young adults to Israel and also to their Jewish heritage. But as the CEO of Birthright Israel Foundation, what are your goals to ensure that as many young Jewish adults as possible get to participate in these programs?
Great question. Our job is to make sure, sorry about that we have as much funding as possible to bring everyone who wants to go to Israel. And we have seen incredible demand. You know, last year, before October 7th, we had 20,000 people who applied to go on one of our trips that we did not have funding to send them. We sent 30,000 last year, and we had an additional 20,000 who wanted to go that we had to waitlist. So on one hand, that's an incredible blessing that so many people want to go to Israel, but it's also an immense responsibility on all of us to raise the money to send everyone who wants to go. And particularly now, after October 7th, at a moment when so many young people are feeling a sense of vulnerability and a sense of isolation, we have to raise the funds necessary. And I think one of the misnomers out there is, where does Birthright get the money from? And we have some money from the Israeli government, and we have 30,000 donors from across the country who are investing in our young people and investing in the Jewish future. And we need to double the number of donors. So that is a huge part of the goal that we have at the Birthright Israel Foundation, me and my incredible colleagues from across the country, to make sure that we give this gift to people just like the gift was given to us.
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I think a lot of people really don't know how it all happens. I've had conversations like that with people where they're like me, they went on a trip and they're just like, oh, it's a free trip. But like,
Right.
it does cost a lot of money. I looked up the numbers this morning to see
Yes.
how much it costs per young adult. And I was like, whoo, okay.
Yeah, it cost, for the 10-day trip, it costs about $5,000 per
Yep.
participant, which, by the way, I would challenge anyone watching this to try to plan a 10-day trip anywhere in the world with flights and hotels for $5,000. So it's a significant amount of money, but we do it pretty economically. And for $5,000, you can change someone's life. But whatever you can give meaningfully, we believe that Birthright Israel is not only a gift for the entirety of the Jewish people, but it should be a responsibility of the entire Jewish people to make sure this program is sustained for generations to come.
Absolutely. Which kind of ties into my next question for you. In today's world, why is the mission of Birthright Israel more crucial than ever? And also as a parent and an alum, which, by the way, I've said this a million times, I can't wait for my kids to be able to go on a Birthright trip because I know just the impact that it had on me. But can you tell me, or tell all of us as parents, what can we do and what role can we play in sustaining these programs for our children?
Great question. So first of all, I think that it is never too early to talk to your children about traveling to Israel.
Yeah.
Never too early. And to let them know that there are opportunities for them to travel to Israel, obviously most significantly Birthright. Birthright has become a rite of passage for Jewish young adults. And that is something that we have great pride in and we take great responsibility in. So talk to your children about traveling to Israel and to talk about traveling on Birthright. I cannot tell you how many people I meet that say, you know, I passed on traveling on Birthright and I really
Oh, yeah.
So talk to your children about it, encourage them to go just like your mom encouraged you to go. And then also understand, as we spoke about earlier, that this doesn't just happen. There are donors all across the country that give big and small amounts to make this happen. So invest in this program as well to make sure that it is there for your children. And you can invest and make a gift by going to the link on our story and giving as well. So talk to your children and then make sure that it is there for them as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I will also put that info in my stories as well later on. I'll actually add it to my link tree just so that it's there. But yeah, and I think even if you're not an alumni or you are not a parent, if you are Jewish and you want to invest in future generations, like this is a great moment, a great opportunity to pay it forward. So it's not just for the people that benefit from it that should donate, but I think that it's for like everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is a reminder that every time I've been to Israel, I've been 4 times since October 7th. And this war that's being fought for Israel's survival right now, it's being fought by young people in Israel.
Yeah.
As you think about what's happening across America right now, we also have our own conflict here. And the conflict that we face here is also being fought by our young people on college campuses across the country. And we need to invest in these young people. And we need to give them a sense of reinforcement and a sense of resilience and a sense of, you know, putting steel in their spine so when they come home back to their college campus, they stand 2 feet taller. And that happens when you go to Israel. And I'm inspired. I'm really inspired by the people who are going right now at a time when they can easily choose not to go. And they can choose to do other things, but they're choosing to go because they want to be part of writing that next chapter of Jewish history. And that is inspiring in a moment of immense devastation.
Yeah, I mean, it is a bright spot. when I got back from Israel, I was getting DMs from some of my followers whose kids were going on Birthright. And then they sent me pictures of their kids while they were there. And they were like a little bit nervous, you know, sending their kids during this time. But I did a whole Q&A when I was in Israel and answered a bunch of questions. And it was so like, oh my gosh, it just made my eyes well up with tears to see these pictures of like young college students being there. And like at a time like this, I can't even imagine. But like you said, it's equipping our college students here with the tools that they need to be able to combat all of the craziness that's going on here.
And to have pride in who they are and who we are. So it's not, you know, I have a colleague who likes to say that we're not Jewish because of anti-Semitism, and we're not Jewish because of October 7th, right? We have pride in who we are, and that, you know, we are going to make sure that when the story of this time is written, that it's a story of how much we have done to advance the Jewish people and to advance the state of Israel. And that's an effort that both Israelis will be part of, and it's a story that we all as American Jews and diaspora Jews will be a part of as well. And that is the source of inspiration that I wake up with every single day.
Me too. I'm like, this is my contribution. This is my legacy for my kids. And they're all, you know, the future generations are going to benefit from all that we're doing and putting into that.
I could not agree more, Rachel.
Well, thank you so much for joining me and doing this live. It was amazing.
Rachel, you are an inspiration. Keep doing what you're doing. This is a team effort, and I'm really honored that you gave us the opportunity to promote Birthright Israel and promote the work that we're doing and promote an opportunity for people to invest in the program. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. We'll talk soon.
You got it.
Bye. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining. Head to stories. I'm going to put some links there.